Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today's topic is twin flames, your thoughts determine your destiny. So we are the co-creators of our destiny. And the key here is that it is us accepting responsibility for our own destiny that is key to achieving our destiny. What we tend to do is we tend to blame others. We tend to look outside of ourselves. We tend to take the victim role versus becoming the victor. And, what I have to ask you today is, what do you choose? Because your perception becomes your reality, and the dream that we dream of is the reality if we choose to align with that. So today I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways to help you get in alignment with your destiny. But, before we do that, I want to take just a minute to talk about the law of attraction and how we become the magnets and how we attract. And I know we know that, but I just want to revisit that to lead into that because it's so important. And if it was all working, we'd all be manifesting exactly what our destinies were, right? But not everybody's in that space and it's not happening. And people are in this energy, in this intense energy we've had with this Mercury retrograde and all of the chaos that we have created. I shouldn't say created, we actually have overcome that's been, creating chaos in our life is what I was referring to in that. And, we've been becoming the overachievers of so much. It's pulled us out of alignment with why we're really here. And so now that the energies are changing and now that it's time to start manifesting the destiny that I keep talking about, now it's time to be in alignment with the vortex of all it is. How can you stay in that alignment? Because, we are human. And, it's not like, here's one of the keys in this is self-acceptance too, because we're not going to be 100% in one place. We're not going to be at 100% a manifestor. We're not going to be 100% positive. We're not going to be 100% happy. But we damn sure well better not be in a space of wallowing in our worry. And if we are, then that is what's going to create more chaos in our life to force us to shift into our reality of our destiny. Because you signed up for it. And, here's the funny thing. We keep saying, okay, we signed up for it. It's in the stars, right? And if that's the case, then why, first of all, what are we really worried about? But that's the ultimate test here, is trusting this process and to know that we need to gain confidence and belief systems within this journey and within our process and within the things that we desire. And when we, the faith, the size of a mustard seed, will do much. Same with the doubt the size of a mustard seed. So if you're putting out there these things that you're wanting and you're thinking you're operating from your head, which is the old way and the old ego way to set goals and to strive and think that you got to really work hard to make this stuff happen, and then it's still not happening because 1, you're working too hard, and 2, if you're not where you're at and you're not getting what you want and you're putting it out there, it's because somewhere in your subconscious programming has some doubt and or the subconscious aspect of these past lives that are still subconsciously programming you that has kept you blocked from reaching that greatest capacity. And if you're not there where you feel you desire to be and all these things that you desire, then you need to take accountability that that's because you have not erased or retemplated, reprogrammed that subconscious programming that's been put on your limiting beliefs. And that has kept you in a small-minded thinking, that's kept you in the aspect of the persecution and afraid of what other people think. and worried that, you know, a lot of things times I hear with, you know, the twin flame especially, is that so worried that if I let go, he's not coming back. You know, well, I can promise you until you let go, he's not going to come back. And so what that's setting you up to is to use that reflection of that separation, or that pull, or that draw, or that codependency, or that need, and that cling, and that desire, and that abandonment, and to use that reflection of what is coming in to give you those emotions, those triggers, so that you can take accountability to, that's not what they're doing to me, it's what I need to do for me. And I need to let go so I can focus on me, so I can then take that energy and like use that energy to be the fuel that fires me to want to get in alignment with myself, not fill up from the outside in, but fill up on the inside with self-love, so that you can then love your beloved, you can love your purpose, you can love your livelihood, and you can, you know, love what you do and love those around you, because that's what we came here to experience, is love. And so, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to determining your destiny, you know, the ultimate destiny is arriving with inner peace and happiness, which is the ultimate rewards to experience for having went through all of this hell that we've went through these dark nights of the soul, so we can align. And so, as I mentioned, so in the law of attraction, technically we look at that as like manifesting, right? And it's setting up an imagination, creating a visualization of what we want through thoughts. And we've been taught that thoughts become things, of course. But where people really get tripped up on it is the thoughts come from multiple dimensions of our mind, okay? We have our subconscious programming from the past lives, and the things we've experienced this life, all the pain, the negativity, and that have programmed us to the point where it's below our conscious mind of what is really going on. So we have these triggers that come through that that trigger us to create a reaction or response, and we tend to want to blame what's going on here in this third dimensional aspect, or somebody else that's doing it. In all reality, it's actually coming through as your reflection of yourself that you're creating through your projection of yourself. So it's like your projection of you and your subconscious programming is sending out a signal through this law of attraction that's creating attracting the people you need to create the reflection of you back to you, so you can then get the trigger you need, that trigger raises up inside of you the pieces that are subconscious that you need to let go of, so you can release it and purify the soul, and then tend to want to blame what happened for doing that, and not taking accountability and responsibility that it's you that set it all up to begin with. Every bit of it, set it all up subconsciously. We even pre-programmed this stuff for ourselves to go through these scenarios, and we did it through karmic contracts, karmic vows, karmic debts that we're paying back that we chose to do. And so when we start talking about the law of attraction, we got to remember this subconscious programming has to be cleared. I've been working a lot. Well, I always work a lot with past life clearing in order to help remove those blocks that are blocking people from reaching their greatest potential in this life. But when I say I've been working a lot in being really directed to the heart of 1 to 2 of those past lives, and it's subconscious programming that is preventing you from doing exactly what your mission is this time. But that if you can rectify that, because it's karma, so if you planted bad karma in your past lives, then you're reaping those rewards this time. But it also, you're being represented this time in order to go back through it, so that you can recreate that experience in a new way and retemplate it and rectify it, so that you clear your karma. Okay, and this is huge. And so what we're doing is, in the subconscious programming, we're creating these triggers, these through the law of attraction, we're creating these events, these circumstances, these triggers to come in to put us through all of these things, to recreate the same experience, whether you know it or not. You're recreating experiences from past lives that's forcing you to go through certain things so you can purify that out. And that's where I'm saying I'm really seeing that a lot lately, and especially with a lot of my clients, getting really to the heart of what these are that's creating this right here, and getting straight in the heart, clearing them out, and getting the greatest breakthrough of this lifetime for people. I'm watching this, and this has been happening really, it happens all the time, but it's picked up speed over the last couple weeks, and it's been a beautiful experience. So really focus on it. Ask your guides to help showing you, what is this in the subconscious program that's blocking me from these past lives? Because as I mentioned, in our thoughts and our mind here, we have our subconscious programming that we have our conscious mind that, in our conscious mind, it is actually, got the memory template of all of the pain, the negative experiences that we remember. And then we tend to set up walls and distrust because of the fact that the pain we went through. I'm even seeing where twins are having trouble, like with their twins are actually coming back through, and then they're scared that, they're going to leave again, and having to get over that barrier and release that idea of that abandonment again, to trust this process that when they come back, they're going to stay. And then we have our higher consciousness, which is our Akashic records, and that I said was written in the stars, and we talk about that, but we have the free will, as into we're on a mission to get in our destiny, but in that it's our decision on how we choose to get there. That's where free will comes in. So we've got these multi-dimensions in our thoughts coming from our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our higher conscious mind. And all of those things are acting and creating a stimulus, okay? And the stimulus is creating a feeling. And then the feelings create these emotions that swell up inside of us that become the magnet that's putting out there what you feel in form. So your feeling is there, but your feeling becomes an emotion, because the feeling is something's there, but your emotion is kind of how you respond to the feeling. So the feeling's creating a trigger, the emotion's creating a response, and the two need to harmonize and be able to put out positive emotions, such as things have already existed, letting down. And another thing is letting down your walls, so you're receiving. And to be able then to bring in form through action what it is that's your destiny through any of this law of attraction and manifesting. So once again, I'm just going to recap that. Law of attraction is manifesting through using your imagination and visualization. Through thoughts become things. But the problem you got to make sure with this is that your thoughts are coming, where are they coming from, and what are they? And what dimension of your mind is it? Is it the subconscious, the conscious, or the higher conscious? And it's probably all three happening at the same time. Producing the feelings that's creating the emotions that's becoming the magnets that now you have to take action. And by taking action, that's really taking responsibility for your own destiny, so that you can now come into alignment through your destiny. And you have to do these three things to do that, to help you align. All those things have to come into alignment. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, and action have to come into alignment for you to get in alignment with your destiny. But to do that, you really have to believe, you have to have confidence in this process, and you have to surrender along the way. And so now I want to talk about 5 ways for you to stay in that alignment of your destiny. so that you can bring all of those things I just said into harmony. Bring them into balance so that you can manifest your destiny. So the first one is let your vision align with your voice. Okay, so in this aspect, you know, we've been trained that, oh, if I just think positively, and a lot of times we think that, oh, we're just thinking positively, and so it's going to, you know, come to pass, or it should because I'm thinking positively, but it's not. So now I'm having trouble believing it's even going to happen. So there's where I said you have to believe this to create the vision and then bring that vision into alignment with your voice, which is then basically pulling together like all the dimensions of your mind, body, and soul, bringing those things into harmony so that you're bringing out your Akashic records into the physical form. At the same time, your thoughts are becoming purer and your imagination of that is coming in belief of what is coming. At the same token, reprogramming the negative thinking of all your past, including the past lives. And then this is going to help you come in balance, because your positive thoughts and your negative subconscious programming will cancel each other out to the point where any of the work you're trying to do to create a vision will then negate it and cancel it, and it won't even work what you're doing. So you need to, once again, I just feel like to say this again, you need to get your vision in a place of belief. And your vision is when your subconscious, your conscious, and your superconscious, higher conscious, are all operating in harmony. That creates your vision. Now that you have your vision with clarity, and I mean precise clarity, going to the heart saying, what does my heart desire? What do I want from my heart? Viewing my life from my heart and taking every action step towards what you love and what brings you joy and peace and harmony. And to realize that the minute you hit that space that pulls you out of alignment and pulls you down and brings you into the hopeless and the helpless feelings and pulls the doubt, that when you hit that space, that you honor it and you don't resist it. And the minute you then let go of the resistance of it and acknowledge it and accept it as part of your journey, and to realize you don't have to place your focus on that and let it run wild, a snowball becoming an avalanche. Releasing that resistance will shift you back into alignment with your vision. And the minute you shift into alignment with your vision, and you then create your belief system and you reprogram that from your old subconscious programming, you've just clarified your truth. And you're living it out in harmony. And now you start to gain within you the openness, the vulnerability to go out and speak your truth. And that's your voice. You're speaking, and that's creating the personal empowerment that I keep talking about, to where you don't worry about what other people think, because you're in alignment with your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own emotions, and taking action for your life. And you're not allowing yourself to be the victim anymore. You're becoming the victor. That's what we came here to be, victors as twin flames. So number 2, chaos creates confidence. So we have this crap happening in our life to teach us something. But the problem is we want to run from it. And then we get impatient with it. And we forget about divine order. And, we want instant gratification. The society especially, I want to know. I want to know, God forbid we wait weeks, months, years. And especially when it comes to your twin flame, right? So this is where you get stuck when you think about what you're doing and believing it doesn't work. Then you start to disbelief in it, and then that creates more chaos to shift you into alignment and pulls you out of alignment with your confidence, and now you don't believe it anymore. When you believe it, you gain confidence. But you need the chaos to create the confidence, to pull you out of alignment, to start to shift you into alignment. So that then you get to actually test the results and test the templates and say, I'm not sure if I believe it, but if I go through this route, then I know I can believe it, right? You're testing your trust of the results. And if you don't get the results, you don't believe in it. And that says that you don't have confidence in this journey or what your destiny is. That you don't believe in your destiny has the divine order of exact, precise timing of exactly what you need. Look at these synchronicities. I'm seeing personally myself and everyone around me with them working with, they've been pre-templating code after code after code that they're consciously pre-coding things. And they're going back now and getting their codes that we pre-planted for ourselves to get to the space of our greatest test to then do, can we believe it? Can we trust it? Oh, what about that? That's a code I pre-planted for myself so I could know that when I got here, that it was truth and that it was my truth and that I can trust this because I believe in this and this has worked this far and it's going to continue to work as long as I get out of the way. So, vision aligning with your voice, making sure you can believe it. And chaos creates the confidence you need in order to be able to kind of come full circle in that and believe it. Because otherwise, if you don't walk that path, you can't necessarily believe it. So number 3 is know what you want and then get out of the way and let the universe do its work. Too many times we set up these expectations that, really we're putting parameters on it. We're saying that because we don't believe and because we don't have confidence in this journey, we tend to keep our focus on what we're seeking outside of us, which is blocking the ebb and flow of life, which is setting up our destiny to fail, on us to fail our destiny, and us failing achieving our destiny. Because we decide we need to take this on for ourselves because the universe isn't working fast enough. And therefore, we don't trust the universe or our guides. And we decide we're going to set our own timelines. And then that creates more of the disbelief because now when we create our own timelines, we're just setting it up to fail and we're setting up these parameters that aren't going to happen. And we're creating more of the chaos that we need to create more confidence. See how these all link together? So that subconscious then radiates out like energetic magnets, and that our emotions become our soul signature. And it's sending that out to the universe that we don't believe it. And ultimately, the reason all of this is happening is because you don't know what you want to begin with. Because you get split between your head and your heart, your right brain and your left brain, your masculine and your feminine, your higher self and your lower self. And all of these things are happening at the same time. And then when you set these expectations up and you keep focusing on the expectations, what you desire may actually be showing up, but you don't see it because you put a parameter around the timeline. You put an expectation and a condition around what you were to, what was to arrive, And everything you're asking for may just be right there, but you don't see it because you don't really know what you want. You want what you think you want. You want what your head is saying. You want what, only fits into your box or your expectations, but just maybe what you're to get and what you signed up for might just be actually everything you don't want. But you signed up to experience it, so that by having that creates your reflection to project back to you, or, it goes projection of you to the reflection back, that you now take that into your perception of how it is. And that is what then on number 4, don't let your emotions rule. So this little cycle of your reflection and your projection, I'm going to start this over. Your projection creates the reflection that then creates the perception. So your reflection, your projection of what you think and what you set everything up for, and gets a little tongue twisted there. Your projection of what you've signed up for is putting out the signal, creating the reflection of whoever needs to come in your path to give you the signal or reflection back. Now that creates a perception that's not necessarily reality. And now that creates judgment that ends up being a reflection of self-judgment that ends up needing to become self-acceptance, and needs to also then balance those thoughts that are causing those emotions that you have that are creating this cycle. And then those emotions are ruling your life because they're the magnets. So don't let those emotions rule in a negative way. So what that means is you need to start by, this is going to be kind of a tongue twister, so hopefully I can get this out. It's going to start by changing your perception, okay? That creates a projection that sends back a reflection that reprograms your perception. All right, I think I got it right that time. Your perception of what you think is sending out the signal through a projection of your emotions and all the things you think or that you need to experience. Now, what you got to take accountability for in your own destiny in this is to look at who's ever crossing your path, instead of sending them off or running from them or thinking they've showed up in your life and making you miserable. You called them in because you wanted the experience of the reflection. So the reflection can show you what it is through your projection you need to work on, so you can reframe your perception. Okay, that's really deep, but that's really good. It's very, very deep, but very good. So number 5, past life equals present power. And so I mentioned this. So we need to heal these wounds of the past, but at the same token, we can rectify that once we realize that most of the subconscious programming is coming from past life experiences that we've came here to rectify. We can realize that everything that we're setting up through this emotional aspect and creating all these events that we're creating this chaos within to shift us, to get this awakening, to purify, so that we can then let go and purify our heart, and then let our heart heal our head. And then this is going to help prevent us from hanging on to all those limiting beliefs through this process of this perception, projection, reflection, change the perception. That's going to change your limiting belief system, which is going to link back into helping to validate your own vision of your own truth, to speak your own voice that's going to help you believe even more. That's going to allow you then to see that the chaos is only creating your confidence. that's going to help you know what it is you want so you can get out of the way and let the universe work. That then the emotions that you send out and the reflection through this law of attraction of what's going out and coming in is going out with the positive aspects and the things that you came here to experience in your destiny. You're sending it out through your perception now. It's sending out the projection that's going out. And then that reflection's coming back of your destiny of something good now instead of the bad. And now that's coming in and you're receiving it, that now you've got to be open to receive it. And now it's changing your perception to this works. And my emotions did this, but I don't have to let the negative emotions rule, even though I might have negative emotions sometimes. So I'm going to give you an example of this past life, present power thing. You know, people look around at the world and they look around at the earth and they look around what people choose and the experiences and how, you know, people think that they don't have a choice, like poverty, hunger, you know, all these things. No, first of all, we choose our experiences when we come into this lifetime. So we chose that experience. But even in the 3D, not knowing maybe that they chose that experience and that they're putting themselves through that suffering for some reason of their soul's evolution to experience something that is going to give them the projection back for the projection out, the reflection back that they need to shift this consciousness and help to purify the heart, so that then that's bringing it into balance for some point in their soul's evolution. The subconscious, the conscious, and the higher conscious is bringing them in together and creating that oneness of the mind, so that we got our lesson. But you know, people look at that and they think, you know, well, first of all, the person in that experience usually doesn't believe that it's the only thing they know. They don't know how to get out of it because they don't know any other way. And they believe that that's the way it is and it's the only way it is. And they kind of choose to stay in this repetitive cycle. Now that's an example of that, but this is the exact cycle I'm talking about. And a twin flame journey is the exact cycle with you and your beloved, twin flame or not. Money, livelihood. I don't care what you put in that wheel. You're going through the same wheel. Same wheel. Perception creates projection, creates reflection, change perception. So one thing too, and that is if, you know, you feel like you can't change it, okay, it's giving your power away. But you can change it because you get to choose. You have choice in this. What do you choose? So when it comes to you and your twin flame journey, what do you choose? Are you going to choose and determine your own destiny? Or are you going to be this victim that feels like you're in that cycle of that poverty and hunger and codependency and that you have no choice? I'm here to tell you, you have a choice. You can co-create it. You can change it and you can achieve it. But you have to take responsibility for it first. And until you do, you will not align with your destiny. So stop running from you. You think you got a runner? It's you. Look in the mirror. Whew. Oh my God. Okay. We are all rebirthing. We've chosen a golden path. We signed up for this whole experience. We're unlocking our golden memories so we can emerge and rise up into all that we came here to do and be and have. And it's time to make a conscious decision, make a choice. What do I desire from my heart? And then sit back and daydream. And stop trying to think you have to make it happen. You show up in a space of love and compassion and joy and harmony and follow what makes you feel good and creates the emotions that are creating the right perceptions and the right projections and the right reflections so you can experience your destiny. And your highest grade is good of all. Okay, I feel complete. Sending you loads of love. We have Mercury going direct on Saturday, the 15th. And I know there's been a lot of whirlwind chaos, but apparently this message needed to be out there for some really strong message. I will tell you, this is the guides coming through strong. This coming in is like an energy that's big, bold. So, and the power got stronger as we were going here. So, you can check out all the ways you can glow forward with me below, and may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.